Reaction is coming in thick and fast with regards to the national executive that has been announced last night. It was delayed by a bit of an hour. We expected it at about 8 o'clock, but it happened at around 9 o'clock. And the president was consulting with the individuals that he picked, we're told. Let's get more reaction now. David Lewis is the Executive Director of Corruption Watch. He joins us now live via Skype. Mr. Lewis, thank you very much indeed for your time. In appointing a new national executive, the president said he took a number of considerations into account, including experience, continuity, competence, generational mix, even demographic and regional diversity. Are you happy with these choices?
Yeah, from the perspective of our work, of Corruption Watch's work, I don't need to be happy. I think that none of the roads that were in the previous cabinet have been included, like Dlamini and Mokonyane, and none of the really big roads who were on the ANC parliamentary list, like Zwane and Maumapela, have been included. And I think some who have a sterling record of fighting corruption are included on the cabinet. So generally, yes, we are happy.
Look at some of them. The Minister of Police is General Behikele. His deputy is Castle Matale. What would be the true test for especially General Cele this time around?
What would be the test in terms of his portfolio? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Well, this is an incredibly important portfolio, again, from our perspective. And, I think the first test would be, firstly, there has to be a clear and transparent manner in appointing a credible IPID head. That maybe is the most urgent task that he faces immediately, because levels of corruption in the police itself are really serious, and the consequences are very, very wide-ranging and severe. So I think that's an important priority for us. But, for South Africans, crime, including corruption, are right up there with the things that concern them most. So, I think the importance of Cele's position and that of its deputy, almost speaks for itself, both from a corruption perspective, but also from a community safety perspective. And so he has a very important task. But as I've said, from our perspective, the most important thing is that there should be a credible process and a credible independent person appointed as head of IPID.
That's key, and no doubt we'll be keeping a close eye on that. But, Mr. Lewis, you would agree accountability is key. These ministers' performances individually as well as collectively will be closely monitored against specific outcomes. We're told the implementation, if the implementation is unsatisfactory, then action will be taken. The president also yesterday, if you remember, went on to say that he will be signing this performance agreements with the various ministers and deputy ministers. So accountability is critical to ensure the job gets done.
Accountability is critical to ensure that government does its job in general. And of course, ministers and directors general are vital people in the whole accountability process. But I think we should have learned a lesson from 1994 when civil society, the unions, a bunch of us relaxed our guard. And, though we may be optimistic about the possibilities of a Ramaphosa administration, we need to ensure that we remain vigilant and that we hold government to account. The government is as good as its citizens are demanding. And I think our role as civil society is to encourage active citizenship precisely to put in place the accountability mechanisms that you're talking about. Yeah. It's also incredibly important that Parliament hold the executive accountable. This is the formal constitutional body charged with that responsibility. Yeah. And the fact that they fell asleep for 9 years is not encouraging. And the fact that there are some pretty dodgy people on the parliamentary list is also not encouraging. And so we'll be watching, and as will many others, I'm sure, the role that Parliament play in performing, as I say, their critical constitutional function and that is in holding the executive accountable. And the same goes for the Chapter 9 institution.
Yeah, one of the critical functions of the members of the National Assembly is oversight. Mr. Lewis, the Public Protector's recent report implicating a person that, before this announcement, some said was seen to be a key figure in President Ramaphosa's administration. Pravin Gordhan continues as a public enterprise minister. Your take?
Gordhan has a sterling record in tackling corruption. This report of the Public Protector released 2 days before the inauguration, dealing with a matter that occurred, if memory serves me correct, in 2010. It's not even clear if she has the jurisdiction to investigate something like this. And it has now been taken on review. And given the record of reviews against the Public Protector that have been upheld, and the remarks of judges regarding both her competence and perceptions of bias, make me think that her findings should definitely not have disqualified Gordhan from appointment as a minister. And I'm pleased that he has been reappointed, and I'm pleased that he's been reappointed to the post that he has been reappointed, that of public enterprises, because he has performed an outstanding anti-corruption role in that portfolio.
That's it there. David Lewis from Corruption Watch, we thank you very much indeed for your time.